Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today I'm here with my January TBR, which are all the books that I hopefully can read in January of 2025. I can't believe we're in a new year, and I have some exciting plans for this month, so I can't wait to tell you about them. I have talked about it before, but I have a book club with some of my friends, and this last time, only 2 of us out of 6 actually read the book. So we have decided we're changing the way we do a book club. It's going to be a book/movie club. And so we picked a book that has also been made into a movie. We all made choices. And then, so we'll read the book, those of us who want to read the book, this girl right here, we'll read the book and then we'll watch the movie together. So we all made a suggestion, and the one that was picked from our spinner wheel was Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I put this book on hold from the library. It's not one that I actually own. I've actually never read or seen the movie for Gone Girl, but I think I know the twist. But I've also never read anything by Gillian Flynn, so I'm pretty excited about that. And hopefully my hold will get here the next few days and I can get started reading that one. I am once again participating in the Buzzwordathon hosted by Books and Lala here on YouTube. She is doing it differently this year, where she has a word theme prompt and then a cover prompt. And I already have so many books in front of me, as you'll see. The cover prompt is harder for me, so at least this month I'm not doing the cover prompt, but I am doing the word prompt, which is Truth and Lies. And so I got, can't see that, Lies and Weddings by Kevin Kwan. This is the author of Crazy Rich Asians, that trilogy. I loved the first book. I have the other 2, haven't read them yet, but anyway, I love Kevin Kwan's writing. This one is something I saw it recommended as something and Saltburn. Basically, someone has to get married to someone and I don't think they want to. I don't know, but Lies is in the title right here, Lies, so that works for the Buzzwordathon, and again, I love Kevin Kwan, so I decided to check this one out. I am so washed out in this video, and I'm sorry, it's the time of day that I'm filming, but I have to get this done, so just ignore this half of my face. Anyway, another readathon that I am participating in the month of January is Winterween, hosted by Gabby Reads, again here on YouTube. I participated in Summerween, super fun. So Winterween has 5 prompts. This one is going to be a little harder for me, only because Summerween is in the summer and I don't have to work, but I do have to work during this one. This readathon takes place January 10th through the 16th, so I'm hoping I can just get a lot done those first couple days because it's the weekend, and then finish things up the rest of the week. But we'll see. I will be vlogging that, so check back for vlogs and see my progress. And now the light's gonna change. I'm so sorry. YouTuber problems, I guess. So, the prompts for Winterween. The first prompt, which is always a prompt in any of these readathons, is to read a book in the dark. I have chosen to read Brother by Anya Alborn. I got the physical copy from the library. I do have this on my Kindle, so it'll be easier to read in the dark because it's on my Kindle. This is about Appalachian cannibals, I think. I don't know, but someone from my book club, this is one of the books that she's read, and she wants someone to talk about it with because she said no one she knows has read it, and I've been wanting to read this for a while, so that's this one. The next prompt is to read a horror or thriller book. I have 3 different options for this one. Whichever one I don't read for this, I'll just read another time of the month. I'll just read another time this month. So the first one I have is The Reformatory by Tanana Reeve Dew. This book is set in the 1950s. A brother and sister are somewhere. The brother attacks the landowner's son, I think. Yes, the landowner's son in defense of his sister, and he gets sent to the reformatory school. And then bad things happen. This is based on a real school. The story, I think, is different. The haunted, supernatural part of the story, I believe, is different. But this is based on a true school where boys were sent in the 1950s and things were not good for them. I haven't read anything by Tanana Reeve Dew. I've heard a lot of things about this one, and so I saw it at my library, had to pick it up. So again, if I don't read this during Summerween, then I will just read it for the rest of, it's still part of my TBR. Another horror or thriller book that I might pick up is The Queen by Nick Cutter. This is his newest release. I don't know anything about it, but I love Nick Cutter, so when I saw it, I had to pick it up. It's about two friends and a destructive secret, I think. I've heard that there is body horror. I heard if you don't like bugs, don't read this one. Nick Cutter is all about body horror. Again, I've read The Troop, loved that. I read The Deep earlier this year, also liked that one, so I'm excited about this. And the last option I have for a horror thriller book is Where I End by Sophie White. This is, I believe, an Irish lore or story, something like that. I don't really know what it is. It says it's about a cursed family, I think. I just watched a YouTube video yesterday of someone saying that they read this book and this is one of the books that they read that scared them and freaked them out. So again, I've been hearing about it. When I saw it at the library, I picked it up. Shocker, that's how I get most of my books. So again, I have these 3 books for an option of reading a horror thriller book, and they're on my TBR regardless of if I read them during Winterween or not. I might just get too excited to start reading one and read them before the 10th. Next prompt is to read a book with a house in the title or a house on the cover. I picked up The Pale House Devil by Richard Cadre. I don't know how to say his name. Never heard of this book, was at the library, saw that the word house is in it. It's covered up by the library sticker, but it's about paranormal investigators, I think. I don't know. But I like these readathons because it makes me pick up things that normally I wouldn't, or things I've never heard of. This is a short one since I have a lot to do during this readathon. I thought this was a perfect one for that prompt. I promise I won't talk about my lighting anymore, but now I had to go get a light because now it was too dark. Okay, back to my TBR. The 4th prompt for Winterween is to read a horror book that is over 5 years old. And I have chosen The Changeling by Victor Lavelle. This was on my December TBR. Technically, we still have 2 days left in December, but I haven't even started this. And I'm in the middle of a couple other books and don't have the desire to pick this up. So I'm going to read this during the readathon. This is, about a man who his wife gives birth, and then his wife and his daughter, I think, both start acting weird. I don't know. Also, it's Victor Lavelle. I say his name wrong every single time. So this was published, I looked earlier, 2017, I believe. Yes, 2017. So that is well over 5 years ago. So this one counts for that prompt. The last prompt for Winterween is to read a novella or a manga or listen to a spooky audiobook. I have chosen to listen to an audiobook. I'm going to listen to Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson. I listened to Bloom by her earlier this year. Loved it. 5-star. That was one of my 5 stars for this year. And I just love her writing. I don't really know anything about this book, but it's only a 5-hour audiobook. So it's, short. I think that can be considered a novella. I don't really know what makes something a novella. I looked online and it's if it has this many words to this many words, I'm not counting all these words. So I think it's a novella and an audiobook, so that works for both prompts. That's a total of 8 books, but 5 of them are hopefully going to be read in 1 week for the readathon. So I am going to go ahead and pick a couple more books from my TBR jar. Also, just because I like to pick books from my TBR jar. I think it's fun. And I like to, some of it I like to be a mystery of what I'm going to read. So I did just add some more strips to this. I found a couple more books that I want to read, and I've gotten a couple books since I've updated this. So let's just go ahead. Let's just go with 3. And if I can read more than that, that's great. And if I can't, then I'll know. I don't know. All right, here's our first one. And it is, this is funny. This is a book that was on our book, this is the book that was on our book club list before we changed the format of our book club. So I guess I'm going to be reading this anyway. This is the first book in the Mind F series by St. Abbey. I believe it's called The Risk. This is a 5-book series. I have it on Kindle Unlimited. It is about a serial killer and the cop that's trying to find a serial killer, but they fall in love because he doesn't know that she's the killer. I don't really know. It's like dark romance. I don't know, but I think it's funny that that's the book that I picked first. So I will be reading that again. I believe it's called The Risk. I mean, you'll see the cover right here. I just think it's funny that we just took that off the spinner wheel and now I'm going to read it again. Whoops. Oh my gosh. Things are flying everywhere. Okay, let's get our second book. Let's see, I am going to read this book for once. We got From Here to Eternity by Caitlin Doughty. This is the third time that I have picked this book out of the TBR jar. And I started the TBR jar in April, I think. So I will be reading this book, From Here to Eternity by Caitlin Doughty. This is a nonfiction book. Caitlin Doughty runs the YouTube channel Ask a Mortician. For this book, she traveled around the world to all over, like in the mountains and I think Africa and like down in South America, to learn about death rituals and death practices from different cultures. And I was lucky enough to get to hear her speak about this book. I think I've talked about it. I do have a signed copy. And so I will be reading this book this month because it really wants to be read. Okay, let's see. Some of these are sticking together. Okay, I got Spark of the Everflame. This is one that I just put in there because I just got it from Kindle Unlimited. This is the beginning of a series. It is a fantasy series. I don't know anything about it, but I've heard people talking about it. And so when I saw it was on Kindle Unlimited, I downloaded it. I don't even know who it's by. Let's look real quick. Okay, it looks like it's Spark of the Everflame, Kindred's Curse #1 by Penn Cole. Again, let's see. Slow burn, enemy to lovers, epic. It's perfect for lovers of magic, dragons, and angst and banter. And will appeal to fans of books like A Court of Thorns and Roses. As I was talking to my sister-in-law the other day, I'm not really a fan of that book. The first book is awful. Controversial opinion. I hated it. It took me till chapter 40. I don't know why I kept reading it. The rest of the books were okay. So hopefully I like this one better than I liked ACOTAR. But I've heard a lot of people talking about it recently, and I'm excited to check that one out. So here are all the books that are on my TBR. I'm trying to get them all into frame, but not lighting. I do have 4 more books on here. 2 on my Kindle. 1's coming from the library, and 1 is an audiobook. So I need to add Gone Girl, The Risk, Spark of the Everflame, and Guillotine. So these are just the physical books that I'll be reading. Looks like I have lots to do, but I can get a bunch of these, whipped out during Summerween. No, during Winterween. Summerween was a few months ago. So I'm excited. I got a couple good ones here, and hopefully I can get through them and get to all of them. But now I want to know, have you read any of these books? What did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.